Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are so welcome. And if you are a returning visitor, I tell you what, you are welcome as well. It's always a delight to have you. We talk about all the interesting stuff relating to relationships, dating, love, you name it. And today is no exception, all right? We're going to be talking about why you never get a second date. Do you ever wonder why? So you go on a date and you're expecting the date to happen again, like a second date, and then a third date, and then a fourth date, and then both of you becoming an item, but that never happens. You never ever get past the first date. I tell you what, you can't afford to miss this video, alright? Because by the end of this video, you will have all the answers pertaining to the question, why don't I ever get a second date? My name is Chris, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, come on. What are you waiting for? Please go ahead and subscribe. Support a brother by turning on the notification so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you're ready for the show, guess what? I'm ready. So let's dive into it. The first reason why you never get a second date is that you have too much expectations. You really need to calm down. Okay, it's just a first date, okay? There are no guarantees. You're meeting up with this person for the first time, so you need to keep an open mind. Don't show up like you're going to meet your husband or your wife to be. No, there's no guarantee that this person will be in your life even next month. So why are you already thinking about forever? Why? So you show up with all these expectations, and as a result of that, you are so uptight. You want to know so much about them on that date. You're not relaxed. Instead of you to just have fun, enjoy their company, you are overthinking things. You're thinking of the next thing you want to say, the next question you want to ask. You are on the edge. And as a result of that, the date will not flow naturally. Okay, the best first dates are the ones that flow naturally. First, there has to be a connection between both of you, and you can't have that connection if you are expecting too much, because when you're expecting too much, you will be uptight, you will be so rigid. You want them to say certain things, you want them to react in a certain way, and if they're not giving you the vibe that you expect, if they're not responding in the exact way that you expect them to respond, you feel bad about it, and it shows. Yes, you might think you're covering it up, you're hiding it, they're not seeing it, but they are. And the moment they get that vibe from you, guess what? It will kill their own vibe, and both of you will just be so low, and the date will feel so awkward. Okay, so you need to lower your expectations. As a matter of fact, don't have any expectations whatsoever. It's a first date. Okay, don't overthink it. Just go with the flow. If it turns out well, great. If it doesn't, no problems. There will be other dates for you, all right? So you don't have to worry yourself so much about it. Lower your expectations, okay? Show up with an open mind. Show up to have fun. That's it. Show up to have fun, okay? And if that is the mindset that you have, I tell you what, you will have fun regardless of how the date plays out. The second reason why you never get a second date is that you reveal too much information about yourself. Mm, can you relate to that? So you're meeting this person for the first time, and for some reason, you feel the need to tell them your entire life history. You want them to know everything about you, and you reveal personal stuff that should be kept to yourself, at least for the time being. You don't say so much on a first date. No, when you do that, you scare the person away because you're giving them too much information that they can handle. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be yourself. That's not the point, okay? As a matter of fact, you don't have to be yourself if yourself is going to ruin your date. Does that make any sense? It's a first date, okay? You need to make a lasting impression. You need to. So You going all out, revealing too much personal information, telling them about your childhood trauma, your this and that, you're just going to scare them away because it will be too much for them to handle. A first date is an opportunity for you to get to know each other. Remember, it's a process. You can't know each other just on one date. It's not possible. Okay, you need to let them know just the right amount of information. Is it important? Is it necessary for them to know about that stuff now? If it's not, keep it to yourself. Yes, you should, because if you talk too much, if you go on and on and on about all the personal stuff in your life, you might just overwhelm them with all that information. And trust me, nobody wants to be in that position again. Why should they invite you on a second date when the last time, the first time they were with you, they were overwhelmed with all the information that you gave them? Remember that people have their own troubles that they are dealing with, okay? Don't overwhelm them with yours, especially if you're meeting them for the very first time. The third reason why you never get a second date is that you ask too many questions. It's a date, not an interview, okay? You need to get that into your head. Why are you asking all those questions? Oh, what is your favorite color? What's your favorite meal? Where were you born? What's your ambition? What you love to do? What? It's not an interview. All right, just calm down. Calm down. Nobody wants to be bombarded with so many questions on a first date, okay? They're out there to have fun with you, to enjoy your company, and they will do that better if you could just stop with all those questions. Of course, you need to ask certain questions, but the idea or the point is for the questions to flow naturally. Allow the conversation to take its course, and if you do that, trust me, they will answer all those questions without you even asking. All right, it shouldn't be mechanical. It shouldn't be like an interview where you ask the question and they have to respond. No, let things flow naturally. First, you have to relax, okay? I promise you, if you're relaxed, things will pan out the way they are supposed to. But if you're uptight and cautious of the things to say, the questions to ask, it becomes mechanical, it becomes rigid and overbearing. Drop the questions, okay? Some people are so funny that when they're going on the first day, they have a list of questions that they want to ask. So the moment the date starts, they begin asking the questions. It's like number one, what's your name? Number two, where were you born? Number three, where are you from? Number four, what are your hobbies? Number five, what's your father's last name? Seriously? All that isn't necessary, okay? It's not an interview, it's a date. You're there to have fun. Just have fun and let things flow naturally. We're still talking about why you never get a second date. And the fourth reason is that you always talk about your ex. You do that, don't you? Why talk about your ex on a date where you're trying to get to know someone else? You're trying to get to know this new person. It's not the time to talk about your ex. I know that talking about your ex could go two ways. One, you could be talking about them in a very good way, and two, you could be talking about them in a very bad way. Whatever the case might be, it is not necessary, okay? It is not. Just forget about them. Enjoy the moment with this person. If you speak so badly about your ex on that date, guess what? The person you're meeting would feel like, one, you're still hung up on your ex, and two, tomorrow in the near future or whenever you guys break up, that is, if you end up together, you're going to speak badly of them too. Yeah, you're going to do the same thing to them. That's what it means. So speaking badly about your ex, thinking that you're trying to make yourself look good, is you shooting yourself in the foot. All right, it is counterproductive. So don't even think about it. So the second point, you talking so nicely about your ex, you think, oh yeah, you want the person to think that you're not a negative person, that you hold no grudges against your ex, yeah. But guess what? That too is counterproductive, because when you do that, you're creating the impression that you are still hung up on your ex. You're still in love with your ex. You haven't gotten over your ex. And that person will not take that so well because, hey, if you're still in love with your ex, you're still into them, what are you doing here with me? Why are we here? Okay, nobody wants to be that person dating someone that is still hung up on their ex. All right, it is too much trouble. It's just so much baggage to deal with. So stop talking about your ex, okay? Just keep quiet in that moment about your ex. Talk about other things. I believe there are several things you can talk about, several fun stuff you can talk about with your date, okay? Your ex shouldn't be in the picture at all. The fifth reason why you never get a second date is that you let your date to last for too long. When a first date lasts for too long, you say more than you should, you say more than necessary. The idea of a first date is to say some interesting things about yourself and then withhold some information so that the person will be eager to meet you again so they can hear more interesting stuff about you. Don't open it all on that first date. No, don't say everything. Nope, nope, nope. There should be some mystery about you, hold back some important stuff, hold back some important information so that they will be looking forward to meeting you again so that you can tell them even more interesting stuff. But when you go on a running commentary telling them about all the awesome stuff that you do, how great you are, blah blah blah, you say everything that there's nothing left for them to want to know, okay? So you have to be economical with your information, all right? I mean, you could start an interesting story and then stop it halfway, all right? Just so that they will be looking forward to the concluding part of that story. It's your life, and I like to think that your life is interesting, all right? So don't tell them all that story about yourself on the first date. Tell them just a little, withhold some information so that they'll be looking forward to meeting you again, just so you can, teach them some more interesting and fun stuff. A first date is what it is, a first date, okay? But for it to get past that point, it has to be very interesting. You need to make an impression. You need to make your date feel like you are somebody that they should be with. And yes, I get that. A second date is no guarantee either. If they're asking you on a second date, it doesn't mean that you guys are going to be together as a couple or as an item, but it's a sign of progress. It's a sign that, yeah, something good is happening here and there's an opportunity for you guys to get to know each other better and probably end up together as a couple. So if you could just practice all the points that I have discussed in this video, I tell you what, you are going to begin to get lots of second dates. You'll get so overwhelmed. Picking the one might even be a problem for you. I made a video titled 5 things not to do on a first date. You can check out the video right here. It's a must watch, I tell you. You don't want to miss it, okay? If you watch that video, I can assure you that you'll get lots and lots of second dates. I guarantee you that. My name is Chris once again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, come on, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. I have lots of interesting videos on my channel, okay? So feel free to check them out. If you had fun watching this one, I tell you what, the next one is going to be even more fun. See you in the next video.